Hey y'all! With this hot weather, I love dishes that are kind of cooling. Although this one might not be cool, you might zest it up with a lot of heat. But I'm gonna make a salsa. Now, I've decided, I've made an executive decision that I am gonna drop these tomatoes down in boiling water so I can peel them easily. I think I'd rather not have the skin in my salsa. All right, so I've made a little notch in the top of my tomatoes, and I'm just gonna drop them down into that boiling water just for a minute. And they're gonna the skin's gonna slip right off of them, y'all. It'll slip right off, and you can see it reacting to the hot water quickly. Our tomato will still be cold, but the skin will come right off. Where I made the little notch, it'll start curling back, and you'll know it's ready then. See, Teresa? You see where it's already curling back?
You can do peaches this way too.
Oh, it's the only way to do a peach. Because if you try to do a peach any other way, you're gonna miss so much of the meat. You'll miss so much of it. You know, it'll just go to waste. Let's see. Ready, Teddy. And then I am gonna use this same water, and I'm gonna cook some pasta in this water, because pastas and tomatoes, they go together. All right, so under running water these go. And you can come over here, Teresa, and show them how easy this is once you've loosened that skin. So easy, and you don't lose any of the meat, which if I was peeling it by hand, I'd be losing a lot of meat. Now, when I have room in my freezer, I love to take a fresh tomato like this, and I like to just put them in a freezer bag and put them in the freezer. And when you're ready to use them, just run them under the water, and you've got a fresh tomato. The only drawback to that is they take up a lot of room when you start dropping in, you know, whole tomatoes. So I'm going to dice this up and put it in my bowl. And when I get it diced, I'll be right back in with you. So the next thing is our jalapeno. And you'll notice I put it on my board with skin down. Because if you try to slice it like this and you got a dull knife, you could hurt yourself. So the shiny, slippery side down. There we go. And this has been seeded, y'all. So you can get this as hot as you want with another form. You could put you a whole jalapeno in what you're gonna, in the bowl that you're gonna eat. But I want to try to make this where it's friendly for everybody, not just the heat lovers. Okay, so there we go. Now I need the zest of 1 lime in the juice. So I'm just going to zest this right here on the board. All right, so we got the zest from our lime, and it zested so easy. You know I'm gonna get every bit of that. Oops. Now I'm gonna juice our lime. Uh-oh, there's no juice in this one, Teresa.
Uh-oh.
Do we have any more?
I think that was my last one.
Oh my gosh. I should have put it in the microwave.
Do you want me to stick that other piece in the microwave?
Now, I'll go ahead and just see what I can get out of it. But the lime is such an important ingredient in salsa.
Do we have any lime juice? Just regular?
I don't know. I'm going to check for that. But, you know, there's nothing like the fresh. The next ingredient is our garlic. And I think my garlic press has seen better days, Teresa.
Look at you getting your workout.
I know it. Nothing like fresh garlic, you know it. Let's see if I got another squeeze in me. I don't. I know they got, look, that it got, this garlic press is not ready to retire. Perfect. All right, now the last thing we've got is our onion. I'm gonna get every bit of it. Okay, so we're just going to dice our onion up. And the only thing that we have left to do is salt and pepper it. And I guess that you could always put some hot sauce or... Thank you. Thank you for telling me. I'm just going to dice this up pretty good, so nobody will get a big chunk of onion.
Look at those knife skills.
Yeah, have to be careful though. Careful. Okay, I think that's fine enough. Don't you, Teresa?
I do.
Maybe a little bit here.
Look how pretty all those colors are.
Isn't that beautiful? It reminds me of my gazpacho soup that I make. Okay. The last of the onion. And now all we have to do is salt and pepper it. But I might have to go to the store and get a couple more limes to take it to where I would like for it to be. And if you want a little bit more green, you could always put cilantro in it or parsley, and that would bring it up. You know, the cilantro would definitely bring it up a little bit.
We have cilantro. I know you're not, are you?
Yeah, I like cilantro.
It's right there in that bag.
All right, there's my salt. There's my pepper. I don't want to get it too salty to start with. This is just so nice. When I was in the Best Western, y'all, it's when a bit of a war broke out. It would have been 1991. And what was that? I can't remember.
That would have been Desert Storm.
That's exactly when it was. And my first little walk-in restaurant was located in the Best Western. And the Best Western motel was booked solid with Army.
Enlisted men.
Yes, the enlisted men, it was just a whole bunch of them. I can't remember if it was a mix of Army, Marine. I don't remember that, but I know it was a lot of the weekend warriors, you know, that do the
Special ops.
Yes. But I had such a good time getting to meet those men because they stayed there a long time, Teresa. And one of them was from Mexico. And he came in one day to the restaurant and he said, Paula, you want to have a Mexican night and I do all the cooking? I said, oh my gosh, that would be wonderful. I was so desperate for help, you know, working all those long days. And I said, yes, let's do it. And I'm sorry that his name leaves me, but he was the sweetest thing. He said, okay, the first thing I'm going to show you how to make is rooster's beak. And I said, well, okay. Well, this was his version of rooster's beak. I said, well, hey, that's salsa. He said, that's right. It's so good and so fresh. So I can't remember how many guests we had that night. But we survived the night. And it was just one of those wonderful memories. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for the men and women that serve our country. Because without them, Teresa and I wouldn't be standing up here doing this for y'all.
That is correct.
So
Thank you.
I remember that night in the restaurant. Just wish I could remember the dear sweetheart's name.
And what did he call it?
Rooster's beak. And I said, well, honey, we call that salsa. So that's the story, Morning Glory. It's delicious, and the longer it sits, the better it'll get. But I do think it needs some cilantro and definitely more lime. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.